I'm Sophia Confowmore. I am a senior here at Civil Friends, and I've been acting since I was about 9. I started out more in musical theater, and then in high school I got more into straight theater, which is just regular theater without the musical bit. And theater is one of the most important things in my life. I think it's a really powerful medium for bringing people together, for making voices heard, for telling stories is really what it's about. And the reason why I find theater so powerful is that it requires listening in a way that a lot of other art forms or a lot of other places in our lives don't really use that. It requires listening to your other actors on stage to make what you're doing believable. It requires listening from the audience, and it's generally a super collaborative art form. So that's one of the reasons I really like it. So every actor, usually before starting to work, just like a musician would warm up. And oftentimes you'll be doing this in a group with your other ensemble members, but I can give you a couple warm-ups to do individually. The thing about warm-ups in general is it's usually important to find whatever works from you. For example, I took karate for several years, so I have a centering exercise from that I do that other people might think is weird, but for me that makes sense. But in general, when you're warming up before a rehearsal, before a performance, you want to make sure to warm up your mind and your body and your voice, because those are usually your most important tools as an actor. And as I said before, usually you'll want to do some warm-ups with the rest of your group because it's important to be attuned to the rest of the people you're working with. But these are a couple things you can do by yourself. So the first thing we're going to do is just a super simple roll down. If you do any kind of dance, this translates pretty well. But the idea is to just stand with your feet shoulder length apart. You're going to keep your knees kind of bent. This isn't a stretching contest. And you're just going to slowly roll down from one vertebrae at a time all the way down until you're bent over. So it looks a bit like this. And you're going to make sure that you're breathing while you're doing this. So I will demonstrate now. And you're just going to sort of let the weight of your body pull you to the floor, making sure to breathe to release any tension that you have, because tension gets in the way of listening and of letting the story and the character take over your body. So you usually won't want to do this while talking, but you're just going to let your head fall and then each vertebrae follow. And you'll want to take your time. And once you get to the floor, it's usually good to wiggle your head around a little bit. You can nod, you can shake your head, just to make sure that you're not keeping any tension in your neck. And you can take a couple breaths down here. You can make sound when you breathe. And eventually, just the way that we came down, we're going to come up, starting from your tailbone, one vertebrae at a time, stacking up, nice and aligned. And you want to make sure that your head is the last thing to come up. And you don't need to fix your hair or your clothes once you come up. You just need to be here and aligned. So that's a really useful thing to do in any situation, just as a centering exercise and for alignment. Another thing I like to do is this thing called throwing the net. And this is a little bit of a physical thing, but it's mostly about presence, I think, and about energy, and it's very much a mental exercise. So if I'm facing you, I want you to stand with your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and your knees bent. And there is a net behind you. It's silver, it's shiny, and it's super, super big. So what you're going to do, you're going to grab it, and you're going to release it. And I'm going to talk you through what you do once you release your net. So I'm picking it up, I'm breathing in. And I'm watching the net. It's filling this entire gigantic room. It's going out over the entire school. It's going out over the city. It's going into Maryland and Virginia or wherever else you might be right now. It's going across the ocean. It's going all the way around the world. And you're watching it. And it's big and it's filling the sky. It's silver. It's a net. and you're going to keep washing it, and you're going to keep sending it out. And slowly you're going to let your hands come down, but you're not going to drop your posture, and you're not going to drop the size of the energy you've now been able to put out into the world. So you're going to slowly drop your hands on your own time. And you're going to feel the space you've created, and then you're going to step into it. And so you can do that a couple times. You can do it from the other side. You can do it as many times as you need. You can do it wherever you need to, whether that's a bathroom stall before an audition or in the wings right before you go on. That's a really nice way to get centered and to enlarge your presence, I guess. Another more physical version of this is called a drop swing. So you're going to do the same thing where you reach up really, really, really high, and you've got a lot of tension, and you're reaching up really high, and then you send it up, and you watch it go up, 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 and you let your hands fall, and you step into the space. And then, so that covers some of the mind and the body. There's good old-fashioned push-ups, sit-ups. Any normal physical exercise can be super useful just to prepare yourself. Running can be really good as both a mental and physical exercise. In general, as actors, we want to keep our bodies super fit for whatever might be coming our way on stage. But I also talked about voice, and here we can do a couple fun little tongue twisters, which are super fun to do in a group, because you're not going to repeat them back to me right now. Yeah, fun tongue twisters. So we've got good old, you know New York, you need New York. You know you need unique New York. And you can mix that up and do that fast, do it slow, keep practicing. And then there's a fun one is, let's see, step right up and purchase with avidity. Overcome your diffidence and natural timidity. Tickets to the raffle shall be purchased with rapidity. Such an opportunity shall not occur again. And then a good one is, let's get this pool table matter settled. Let's get this pool table matter settled. And you want to throw your voice around in lots of different ways. Let's get this pool table matter settled. Let's get this pool table matter settled. Let's get this pool table matter settled. So you can just play with the words. You can make up your own. Whatever you do, make sure to be using all the different parts of your voice and throwing it around and sounding pretty goofy. But you really want to be getting your voice warm, and you want to make sure that whenever you are warming up, you are paying special attention to using support, which happens both from your diaphragm and from your core, and articulating really carefully. In general, when you get up on a stage to act, you'll have to speak much more slowly, much more clearly, and much more loudly than you would in general conversation. In the next video, we'll talk about character work and how to start building a character.